about guilt complexes and all that sort of thing. With me, I always simplified it and called it, if the shoe fits, put it on. And apparently this is what the people of Gilmanton did.
As a public figure, Grace was suddenly open to criticism, from people in the town who thought their secrets were being exposed, and critics at large who attacked her because, as a woman, she wasn't supposed to write like a man.
She told me, she said, people are going to hate me. And that's when she started to drink. I remember one morning at 9 o'clock, she arrived here with a 6-pack of beer, and I had never seen this in her before.
It was something within Grace that made it impossible for her to take advantage of that success and get some pleasure out of it. I think she searched everywhere for, it's a little corny, but for some kind of internal happiness, which she never seemed to be able to find. The times I knew her, she seemed excited about her success, but never really happy about it. I remember her being in tears a lot, right from the beginning. Later on, alcohol and tears.
Grace wrote a sequel to Peyton Place and 2 other novels. But high living, an unscrupulous agent, and a continuing battle with alcohol reduced Grace to poverty once more. In a last desperate attempt to generate some cash, she opened the Peyton Place Motel. It went out of business after 2 months. On February 25, 1964, Grace Metalius died of liver disease.
People would call on the phone and they'd say, don't bury Grace in Gilmanton, get out of town, and we don't want her body here. Things like that. It was, she was dead. Who was she going to hurt?
Blue moon, you saw me standing alone, without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own.
While a TV series based on Peyton Place continued to make money for 20th Century Fox, Grace had sold all her rights. What was left of her estate was sold to pay for back taxes. In a final fire sale, a man named Joseph Stanton bought Metalius's precious typewriter for $75.
Do you think that Peyton Place will be remembered? I doubt it very much. You don't think that 25 years from now the name Peyton Place will mean anything? Not at all. Thank you, Grace. Grace Metalius. Well, thank you for having me.
In the end, the town that Grace had exposed to the world reclaimed her. Her resting place remains a kind of marker of her struggle to speak honestly about men and women and the pent-up passion, anger, and conflict that lurked below the surface in the 1950s.
The 50s was sort of a waiting period. You had the feeling that the pressure was building up. Something was going to explode. And I think that in a funny way, Grace may have touched some of that.
I've met many people since then who said about their own town, wherever it was, Mississippi, Texas, Oregon, my town was a Peyton Place. I'd like to know whose town was not a Peyton Place.